Here we are in the analysis room to dissect the knowledge part of your mind. We covered in our last meeting that you experience compromised knowledge, influencing how you perceive life and move. Now I'm going to cover more in depth how altered truth happens. Under the category of handicap is a pattern of unintentional knowledge transmission failure, as characterized by disability, forgetfulness, and vague understanding. The perceiver's ability to interpret information and retain knowledge. Furthermore, the communication failure of influences who speak vague or complex language. It is the responsibility of the environment to take these into consideration when holding people accountable. There is a high probability you shut down your receptivity when influences were overwhelming for you. Self-induced closed-mindedness, which is common with rebellious behavior. I'd consider this a handicap due to the fact that you had unmet emotional needs. At some point, you'll also need to get diagnosed for your brain conditions. Evidently, there is something that's impacting your ability to think critically. In areas where emotions take control, manipulation is a common tendency. Self-preservation, consequence avoidance, in the pursuit of desire. If you did these things, you were held accountable. Shaping community well-being and character integrity is the responsibility of those in authority. They fulfilled the role on the surface, while your brain development may have stayed behind. A handicap isn't your fault, but the thing that can be shaped is your heart to be receptive. You have the capacity to grow if you want to, regardless of what others do, which leads to the next aspect of manipulation that influences knowledge. External manipulation occurs when one person controls the data that enters your perception, followed with naive teachings, information neglect, or partial truths. This is where knowledge is altered in the hands of those who filter what you learn. You mentioned the disassociation of logic and reliance on others to make decisions. This could stem from psych manipulation or from naive education. Your third expression video mentions people posing to help, which only led to your misfortune. That behavior is an example of altering truth to psychologically influence your decisions. So how does one discern truth from deception? The answer lies in this question. Do you become a better or worse person around their influence? Do you grow in physical or spiritual well-being over time? If not, it may be a good idea to rethink who you let into your life. The most important thing to consider is your relationship with God and your character. If influences lead you to sin, it is better to withdraw. During this time, consider your faith and spiritual role. Though you face misfortune, it is an opportunity to grow in love, evangelize, and be an example for psych and moral alignment. You can't control if truth is altered. Perception provides only an angle to reality until truth comes to light. With your limited knowledge, do your best to thrive and fulfill God's will for your life. That said, we've established how knowledge, when compromised, influences your psychic dysfunctions. Now let's talk about world operations. I covered it briefly in my introductory video called The Stranger. I've identified status quo behaviors that impacted even my psyche. This dysfunction is not just in your mind, but it is a global crisis that influences how everyone moves. The information age. We will meet in the simulation room to cover this topic.